Hi, it's Ken Barrett, Laundromat How To. Had some requests about how to set up electronic refunds. A lot of laundries, they use a paper, just a piece of paper. People fill out their information, they put it in a slot, a Dropbox, whatever. Then, you've got to go up there and pick them up and enter all the information to keep track of where your refunds go. How many people are collecting them is a certain number of machines. Sometimes you'll find it's just the same person over and over again, and you got to make that decision. Are you going to continue to refund them or maybe try and get a hold of them, etc.? The problem with the paper is you're always making photocopies. If you leave too many of them out, they all disappear overnight or they get torn up. Kids write on them, people use them for notes, etc. So we've done in my laundries, the wash and coin laundries, is we've gone to an electronic online refund. There's maybe other methods out there to do it. This is just the one I'm using. It's working for me. So what I want to do here is just go through the whole setup. I've already got it on here, but I'm going to go through the whole setup with you again. It's going to take a little bit of time, and I'll kind of stumble through it as I can, but it's really not that difficult. The way I've got it set up is I've got a Coin Laundry Association based website, which is it's a findalaundry.org based website. What I do is I actually have my own domain name of washandaniston.com, and it just forwards to washandaniston at findalaundry.org. So this stuff's all set up by the Coin Laundry Association. I played around with this a little bit. I've messed up a couple of things that I got to fix. As you probably notice over here, normally is a map. I hit something wrong and took that out. So what I'll do is go over to one of my other laundry sites, just see how it was done there and pull it back over here. So there's a couple things on here. Is you can see I've got the refund up here. Again, I'm not an expert on this. I've stumbled my way through it, and there's ways you can do it better, and I'll eventually get a little better, and once I show a bit more, I'll update the site. But when you click on my refund button, then it brings you through to this page. It's got the logo on here. Wash and Anniston Coin Laundry always wants you to have a great experience, but should you have a concern, please let us know. Please click on the link below. When you click on this link, it takes you over to what's just a Google Drive form. So let me just expand the screen just a little bit here so you can sort of see what I'm doing. Just move that down. So this is just a Google Drive document. It's got the basic information up here. Put the logo in there. You want to get your logo, your name of your laundry, just out there as much as you can. Just keep it in front of people. So down here it's the name. You'll see the little red asterisks there. Those are required fields. So the name, it's basically the check's going to be sent to the person to that name. The street address, apartment, if it's required, if it's needed, so it's not a required field. The city, the state, we pretty much guess that mostly. If it's outside your normal state, people will probably fill that in for sure. You get your zip codes required, the date of the concern. The time is optional. It's just if you have a big issue, you might just want to go back and look at your cameras. Phone number is optional. Then you want to know what the equipment type was: washer, dryer, change machine, vending machine, store conditioner, another item. And then, what was the equipment number? So I just put on there each washer and dryer has a number on the front, just so people know where to look. And then a description of the problem or concern. One other item that I'll add to this is the amount of the refund. So it clearly puts it in there. So what happens from this page is we go back into our Google Drive. We actually bring that up into a Refund Responses. And this is what you see as the administrator. So it puts everything just across the same boxes that you've put in. So you've got your timestamp, that's when it gets filled out. It's done automatically. The name, street address, apartment, city, date of concern, time of concern, and then the field at the end has a description of the problem. And then you can add your own comments past this. Here I've written done. I've actually been tracking on another Excel sheet, but I'm slowly going to move over to this one. So you can just add your own fields here that you can fill in on this sheet. So as they automatically put them in, you can go in and fill them from there. And it's just like an Excel sheet. You can do a lot of sorting. It's not quite as... Actually, I think it does have pretty much everything an Excel sheet does. So, you get your data up here. You can There's filtering and sorting. It's, yeah, again, it's not quite as detailed as Excel, but there is still a lot of stuff there. But it's easy to just copy and paste this into an Excel sheet if it's something you're more familiar with, if you want to sort by machine, name, etc. So what we're going to do on this is work through setting up the whole system. So there's two things you need: is your laundry website, and if you've got that set up through your own provider, Coin Laundry Association, etc. A lot of this can be very similar. And you need a Google Drive folder. If you've got any sort of Google account, then it's easy to go in there. You just go into Google Drive, just come up here and just do a search for Google Drive. It'll come up, you click on there, and if you don't have an account, it'll just bring you up an account. So it'll bring you up, and then you just start from there. So I've got various levels here already, but what we're going to do is we'll start from scratch this way. So first we're going to make the form, and then we're going to put the form into the link into the web page. So what we're going to do on here is we're going to create we're working through this, but we're going to create a form. And what I'm going to do on here, just for a second, is I'm going to, you've got various ones here, as pretty as you want it to look. Letterheads, wedding cakes. So as fancy as you want it to look, these you could probably play with as well. I just haven't got too detailed on it. So we'll just go with the default one. Click OK. So what you get into this one. So what I'm going to do here just for a second is I'm going to pull over the previous one I already have. I'm just going to pull it off to the side. This might get a little blurry here for a second, but just bear with me. So what I want to do is just have this where I can read through what I already have. So right now we've got an untitled form. So we're going to put up in there, Washington, Anniston refund. If you want a description, this is the section that's in here. So again, what I'm going to do is just copy and paste. I'm just working through a whole new form that's going to be very similar. So I want to put that into there. As far as editing size and all that stuff, it's not something I've ever dove into. So we can stick our logos in there and stuff once we get going, but initially we're just going to have the question title, and then you've got various choices from there. So our question, name, and then help text. Refund sent will be check will be sent to this name. So just people understand, that's who it's going to. So I've had some where people actually put a different name on there. Maybe they don't have an account, they can't, cash the check in, so they send it to their parents, etc. Then you've got your different question types down here. So what we just want to have is just a text box. It's just going to be a small box. The other options on here are paragraph text, which gets you into a bigger box. We'll use that for the description down farther. Multiple choices, we use some of those. Check boxes. The difference, some of these multiple choices, you can pick multiple ones. A checkbox, you only pick one. Or it could be the other way around. You'd have to play with it a little bit. I just forget right now. And then you've got a date and a time, various fields. So this one, we just want a text box. We want it to be a required answer. And then we've got some advanced settings here, date validation. We don't need to get into that. So that one's done. So there's the first one. You can see over here, it's pretty much the same. So from there, you just want to add another item. We're going to add a text question. Next one's going to be street address. Help text, we don't really need that. We know it's a text one, so we hit done. We just go back to that one. I just missed there. We got to hit the required question. We want to know where to send the refund check. Apartment. We don't that's not required. It's just if somebody's in an apartment, they gives them a place to put it in. City, required question, done. State, done. Zip. And roll this up a bit over here. So that's the zip. We want to make that required as well. Just that way you don't have to look it up. Just don't want to. I want to keep it as easy for me. If I get to go start looking up zip codes, it's just more time that I've got to spend. So people want the refund. We just need to tell them this is the information you got to provide, and we'll send you the check. So the next one we're down here is the date of concern. Now we can change this to a date box if you want, and then that's just going to usually gives them a bit of a drop down box, etc. Yeah, it's got the drop down box. You can put that on there. If you want to include the time on that one, we can put it right in there. It's not one that I really push too much on. We do want the date is required. Add an item, time of concern. Again, if this gets into a store cleanliness problem, or an issue with a particular, maybe there's a problem with somebody else in the store. Sometimes people go on here and they just want to tell you, hey, I've had a problem with this guy, he's an idiot or whatever. I see him here all the time. This gives you time to go back and look at the cameras and be able to deal with it. So we're going to keep that optional though. And then we get into the equipment type. So now we've covered where it's going to go. We've covered the time of it happened. Now we want to understand what the concern is. So at this point, we've got we're going to get into more of a detail multiple choice type question. So on here we're going to put the equipment type, and you can word this however you want. Then the question type on this one, we're going to have multiple choice. You can add it on here that you can go to a page based on an answer. That's a little more complicated than what we're looking at for this option. So on here, we'll just work our way through the same ones. Washer, dryer, change machine, and again, depending on your store, you may have more items in there that you want to add. And other. Okay, so this one, we're going to make that required as well. That one's done. Looks the same, we're all good. We get down into here, add the item. We're going to add another text. Equipment number. I'll just copy it over. Cheat a little. So put that one in there. This one, I left it as not required. It's one of those, sometimes the numbers get ripped off. Sometimes, it's somebody's filled it out after they've left the store. Maybe they just made a few notes and they went home and they're going to fill it out. Or they think as well, it might have been that one or that one. So you can put it required if you want. But okay, so this one here we're going to have a paragraph text because we want to have some more space available for this one. We just want to put in their description of problem or concern. So this one is going to be required. If they're not going to tell us what the problem was, then how can we move forward and address it? So that one will be done. Now on this one I'm going to add one more. I'm going to add an amount of refund. And that still is a paragraph text. We're going to just have it as a text. I think that is done. So Show link to submit another response. We can have that on there. We can publish and show a link to the results of this form. We don't want to show them that. And allow responders to edit responses after submitting. We won't leave that as checked as well. So this one down here, you can change this line. This is the one they'll see on the last page. Then so you just want to make sure everything's good up here. What we did in the other one is we put in over here, we put in the picture. Just got to kind of figure out how to do that one again. So we'll go up to Insert, Image, and then what we're going to look at here is, what have we already got? So I've probably already got some in here. There's just a generic washing coin laundry. So we click on that, we select it. So that's just one of my generic ones that I use for each of the laundries. And you can put a video in here, so if you can make a video yourself, and that might seem a little weird, but it is actually a very popular way to help your customers contact with, just feel like they know you a bit more. You can put a video in there saying, sorry, you've had a concern. Please fill out the information below this. We'll address the concern as quickly as we can, and we look forward to seeing you at the store again. Stuff like that. It puts a face to your business, especially if it's an unattended laundry. Even if it is attended, it puts the manager's or the owner's face to the customers when they have a concern, which will help out. Next time they see you in the store, they can easily spot you and go, hey, thanks a lot for that refund, or thanks for addressing the problem. So this one here, now we're going to send the form, and that gives you a link to share, and if you want to embed it, etc. We will need that, just not quite yet. Actually, what we'll do, we'll copy that, and then we'll just put it on to a notepad. Just found my notepad here. We'll just stick it on here just so we have it handy, and you can send it via email, etc. So if you want other editors, say if you've got a couple people working on this, you got a partner, etc., you can add collaborators, so anybody can go in there and adjust it. So that's done. Now the next question here is, where's the response destination? So you can have a new spreadsheet, or you can have a new sheet and an existing spreadsheet. So this one here, it's telling me here that I have an untitled form. So let's just go back here, and just outside of range here, move this box up just a little. You see I've actually got to name the form itself. So this one is going to be Washington Instant Refunds -2. And again, this is something you only see, so you don't have to worry about it. So go down there, we'll send that form again. And we're done that. So we can view responses. This comes up in here into this worksheet. Again, it gives us all the information across there that we asked for. They actually come up as separate tabs, so you can go back and forth. You can show a progress bar. If it's only one page, it's not a big deal. If you have one that switches between multiple pages, it's always a good idea. It just shows people how much more information they need to add. So now we've got that set up. What we want to do is go into, just close out a couple of these. We want to go into our actual sites. So if you've got whatever you're based on the site, this might be something you do yourself, or you may have somebody do it for you. This is based on one of the sites provided by the Coin Laundry Association when you have a membership there. So they've done a lot of the basic stuff, and all we're trying to do is enhance it. At some point I'll probably bring in somebody a little more pro to beef up the page a little bit more, and make it a little bit less generic, but that's something that we can get to. It's not a really big deal right now. It's doing what it needs to do. My web page is pretty much a static page. We don't update too much, put a few links in there once in a while, but it's a place that it'll be found. But We use a bit more interactive social media marketing, but you got to have a web page. So we'll go back here to Washington Anniston Coin Laundry. We'll go to the dashboard. And I already have a refund page, but I'm actually going to add another one just to show you how it's done. So we go to pages, and if you click all pages, you'll see we already have a refund one there. What I'm going to do is add new. It comes up here, so it needs a page title. I'm going to put that to refunds. Now we need some information to put into here. Let me so over this side we'll call up Washington Anniston. We'll go to some just off the edge of the page there, but so what I'm looking at here is just, what do I already have there now, and what do I want to change? So initially we'll put in add some media. Now some of these I've uploaded before, so it's just something you can use. There's Washington Anniston one there. It's already got the title on it. You can change your sizes and stuff down here. It's a decent size over on the other page, so we'll try that, see what it looks like. It's still pretty good. We'll go down below that, and again, what I'm going to do on this one is I'm just going to copy and paste what I already have. From that, you can go in, you can change your change some of your fonts and stuff like that. So, but that's working for me pretty good right now. Just get that tidied up there. So the next thing, we just want to tell them, you need to give them some direction. So click on the link below. What I'm going to do in here is actually just, I've got some stuff in here, but I don't have one of the other ones, so I'm going to select a file. And I just went on to Google and pulled up Google Images, just pulled up this particular file. You do want to look at, make sure if you're pulling off files like that they don't have a watermark, copyright on them, etc. There's a lot of generic ones out there, but there is some that when you look at them close, you'll see a watermark of, someone else has put it there. So I'll just title this as refund. And then leave it that. We're going to align it in the center. Again, once you stick them in, you can play with them a little bit. So now the key onto here is you highlight that, and you're going to hit this link button here. Right now that links to the picture. We don't want that. What we want to do is go back down to our notepad, and we're going to take this big link here from Google, and we're going to stick it into there. We're going to go refund. And you can open that link in a new window or a tab, which with something like this, it's always good because you want to keep your web page there. You don't want to just pop out to something else. That opens it in a new tab. People can still go back and look through your web page if they get any more information without trying to go back and find it. So we'll update that. And let me just pull this page over a little bit here. So what I want to look at initially is we'll save the draft. So getting with computers, save your work, save it often. So let's save that, and what we can do is preview it before we publish it, just to make sure it's what we want. It looks okay. This, again, I'm not an expert on WordPress, so this looks a little freaky with this over here, but we'll if we make this bigger, it should push it down. We can play around a little bit, but what you'll see on there is you've got that link. You click on it, and it takes you right over to this page. You work your way through. Refund check will be mailed to me. Ken Barrett, street address, 1304 Greenbrier Deer Road. What you see in the yellow is usually when it comes up in yellow, it means that you can't input it that way. And what that's doing is it's preventing an autofill, so that you just don't get you don't get a lot of the autofills. Sometimes it doesn't always put it in the right location, or it's putting different locations in. So a lot of sites now, they're kind of blocking the autofill. So I always like to try and type it in myself anyways. 6207. Data concern. So now what we've got here is this drop-down menu. So we'll put down today's date, time, 9 a.m. Equipment type. We had a problem with our as you're going through here too, you just want to check your spelling and all that kind of stuff. So a problem with the change machine. We don't have a number on that. Change machine ripped my bill in half. You guys have probably seen that. Everybody's seen that a few times. This is why I always still like to have some sort of a secure drop box there. Because if they give you that half of that, you can mail them a check. If they don't give them the half, then I'm mailing them the half of the $5 bill back. So like put down here, I put the other half in the drop box. So the amount of refund, I want $5. Then we'll submit that. So it says there, thank you for the information. We'll review your concerns, work to make things right. So again, this is just the stuff we put on the previous page. Now if we go back into our Google Drives, we've got Refunds 2, we've got Refunds 2 responses. And as quick as that, it's in there. As you put it in, it's filling it in. So now that's got that information right there. And again, I can go across here and I can put, refund paid. I can put the date. Some of the Excel shortcuts don't work. The date was April 17th. So, and then done. Hit that. And again, with this type of a document, it's constantly saving all the time. It's part of Google. It just keeps saving. So that's all there is to it there. So that's just how it is. So what we want to do now is go back to just find the right page here. So this is the edit page. Now we haven't actually published it because we just did a preview on that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to publish this page. And then there's the link to it. If you want to send somebody directly that link, unfortunately that's the way you have to put it. There is other methods to shorten that link, which I'll go into that on another video. It's not that difficult. If you got a GoDaddy account, it's pretty easy. I can show you how to do it. And then you can have just a short, short one. It might be refunds.washandaniston.com, and it'll take them right to this page. So that's in there. We look at all our pages. Let's go back over. So we'll go back to the Washandaniston main site. Now we go to refunds. You'll see I've got 2 refund pages there. One's the new one. One's the old one. So what I need to do now is find where I'm at. Is go in here and look at my pages. And let's just change this to -1 just for a second so that I can just make sure I delete the right one. So we'll go back to all pages. Now this one here I don't want. So I'm going to click on that one. Just going to move that page to the trash. Now that one's gone, so we go back on to Refunds 1. Take that comment off of there. And then, we did have an issue on here, so I think what I'm going to do is make this, if I go into that one there, this is where I can decide I want it in the center. Current link updates the size. That's not letting me bump the size up at all, so change the size here. You want to keep some of your dimensions, so that's 300 by 107, so if we double that to 600 by 214, update that, we'll see how big it comes out. It comes out a lot bigger. That's where it starts getting a little grainy, so just drop that back down. Back back the original size. So we've got that. We'll update it again. You always make sure you update it. That's what publishes it up to the site, so you make sure you got it. And that's all there is to it. So again, now we go back here, we refresh this page. Let's see if we've got one refunds, and there's a button. We hit it, and it's refund my money. So that's all there is to it, and hope this helped out. If you got any questions or concerns, send me an email. You can contact me at ken@washandcoinlaundry.com. You can go to my website here and just fill the information in here, or just put a comment at the bottom of this this post, and hopefully it helped you out. And if there's any other posts or information that you'd like me to make some comments on or show you how to step through it, just let me know. Have a great day.